What does the PTA role look like, you think, in 5, 10 years? Like, just some arbitrary date in the future. Is there a picture you can paint of what that looks like, you think?
100%, because I do work in PTA education. I see the strain that it is. I mean, we're teaching. So in Ohio, we're capped at 65 credit hours. Like we can't go above 65 credit hours per state law. Okay. But there are PTA programs in other states that have upwards of 77 credit hours or pushing 80 credit hours. So here's the thing. We're all held to the same standard though. We all have to pass the same national physical therapy examination, right? So we have these huge variations in the amount of education we can give that person, but we are still held to the same accreditation standards and still held to the same national examination standards. So my theory and thought in question is why we can't do this is again going back to that multi-entry into the field. So if somebody's like, "Hey, I want to come in, I want to be a PTA, but I'm happy to only get my associate's degree. So I want to do this route. I have a family, I'm already established. I want in and out as quickly as I can so I can start treating patients and start earning money right away." But there might be a place for a person who wants to get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree that could have different pathways, right? So there are some schools that are kind of looking at this and have started to expand on bachelor degree programs for PTAs, but they're not accredited yet because accrediting body has said no, not right now. So you can take those, but it's not necessarily going to change the way that we're viewed in the profession right now. It does help with education and, of course, your skills and things like that. But in
Yeah,
my mind, it makes sense for us to really start looking at other professions. And I think we heard this a lot at the Future of Rehab Therapy Summit was what can we learn from our other friends in other professions and disciplines, what they're doing. And we see this like in nursing. Again, I hate to keep going back to that, but they have a perfect example of this. But yeah, so in my mind, 5, 10 years from now, we would have the ability to have a multi-entry for that physical therapist assistant that could look different. So if this is the career path you're on and you want to stay a PTA and that's all you want to do, that's totally fine. We need you too. If
yeah,
you have a desire to go into PT school later or to have further education or go into management or marketing or all of these things that we just talked about, here's a pathway for you. And so to me, it would be a beautiful thing if we could have some variation in that entry into the field.
If you'd like to learn more about Strata PT and see how our EMR and RCM works, head over to stratapt.com to book a demo.